What is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny gameplay video. In this video, we'll be talking about Iron Banner Clash. It is live this week, so it may behoove you, depending on your situation in the game, it may behoove you to get in there. There's lots of stuff to be got. This week, what you can, get for weapon rewards straight from drops at the end of matches and from the vendor. You've got the Binding Blaze and the Rocket Launcher for Iron Banner. Now, the Binding Blaze is a sidearm. It's mediocre at best, even with a god roll that I had on it when I played with it. There were probably 6 other sidearms that I had in my inventory that I would use before the Binding Blaze. It's just really not that great, to be honest. Nothing to write home about. So don't obsess over getting one of those. The Rocket Launcher is decent with the right rolls, but I'm assuming at this point pretty much everyone has their go-to rocket launcher already in their possession, I'm assuming. So the weapons this week, really nothing too crazy or anything to get too hyped about, but you do have access to a lot of 400 light gear drops. The light gear, the light levels of the stuff that drops in Iron Banner really can't be beaten. It's pretty much the fast track. If you have a character that isn't 400, Iron Banner is the fastest way to level up. You also have artifacts that are level 400, which are great for infusing your Iron Lord ones, right? You've also got like sparrows in the loot pool, ghosts, ships. There's just a lot of stuff in the loot pool. So you may be attracted to the loot. I know a lot of people have probably collected everything that they're after at this point, so the loot's not the biggest appeal. For me, I don't really care about the loot, but when I was leveling up characters, this was a big deal. Iron Banner was. So the thing that really I would say you really want to do is get the bounties done. The bounties can be completed whether you're winning or losing, doesn't matter. If you're solo queuing, you can still get those done. I got all of mine done in 3 hours. I had all of them done in 3 hours or less. So getting those bounties done, big deal, because you can get, tier 12 rolls on armor. You can get, I've had 2 of my God roll Iron Banner weapons that I have in my vault or inventory. 2 of them that are God rolls came from those bounties. So my God roll Clever Dragon with almost perfect stability and high caliber rounds. Yeah, that came from one of those bounties. Also my hand cannon, my Lingering Song, which is rangefinder and rifle barrel and quick draw on it. I got that out of a bounty. So you may just want to get those bounties done so that you have a shot at getting some really solid rolls. So always check the rolls that you get on those things. Make sure that if your inventory's full, then you're headed back to the tower, checking out the Postmaster. Make sure you don't miss out on anything, because that Postmaster can get fill pretty quickly when you're playing Iron Banner, and it can cycle stuff in and out, and you can lose it forever. So make sure that you are checking that. Now, in terms of my wish list for Iron Banner, I don't mind Iron Banner Clash. It didn't feel very campy to us when we were playing it. I know that the last time it was up, that was one of the major complaints, was how slowly it played out. I didn't have any experiences like that this time around. I played a lot yesterday, but in terms of my wish list, things that I would want for Iron Banner Clash, Iron Banner in general, one of the first things I would say is the matchmaking system. I wish that it prioritized putting teams with teams. I know it's a little bit difficult right now. I totally understand it this late in the game. The player base is not as bountiful as it once was, right? I mean, that's totally understandable. But I'm hoping that maybe when Destiny 2 comes out, whatever it's going to be named, that when they do events like this, especially events like Iron Banner, where your light level matters, you're hunting after the great gear, I hope that they have a matchmaking system that prefers to put teams with teams. I know that that's not a super easy thing to do with matchmaking systems. A little bit of a grenade choke right there. But anyways, I know that's a difficult thing to do, but I can tell you that, Overwatch does that. Overwatch has a system like that. Obviously, the player pool is much larger, so maybe, like I said, when Destiny 2 comes out, that's going to be possible, potentially. But we played for 3 hours straight in a team of 6, a full fire team. I enjoy playing with my friends. This isn't about trying to pub stomp or anything. It's Iron Banner, and I want to play with my friends. That's just the way it goes. So I think that most of us prefer playing with our friends. At least I do. So, but it's not about pub stomping. I wish that we would go against other full teams, because honestly, when that happens, it's so much more fun. A lot of times when that happens in Iron Banner, when I get pitted against another full fire team and I'm in a full fire team, oftentimes it ends up being a nice, really tight match. We have to focus on call-outs and teamwork. And on top of that, a lot of times I run into people I know on the other team. I've got friends on the other team, or acquaintances, or other people that I'm familiar with that are on the other team. It makes it that much more fun and that much more enjoyable. So I definitely prefer that. But over the course of the 3 hours that we played, for 3 hours straight that we played in a full fire team of 6, the biggest team that we encountered on the opposite team was a team of 2. Like, we got teams of 2 and we got solo queuers. That was it. No teams of 3, 4, 5, or 6. Across 3 straight hours of matchmaking, it was solo queuers and people playing with one other person. That's who we got pitted against. And most of the matches, we had a couple of them that were really tight, but most of them weren't very close. And that's not, for me at least, that's not enjoyable. I don't really love steamrolling teams. It's not that much fun. So I would greatly prefer to be pitted against another full team and to really feel challenged and have to make call-outs. That is so much more enjoyable to me. So hopefully, in the future, that's an implementation that we will see in the matchmaking system in Destiny, whether it's in Iron Banner or it's in public matches in general. If you're just going into Control, I wouldn't even mind seeing that there. But, as someone who does often solo queue, you may not notice this in the gameplay, but I solo queue a lot. A lot of my videos are trials, so obviously you don't see that, but when it's in 6s, I do a ton of solo queuing during the weeks. I really do. I play a lot of Skirmish and Control solo. And I understand that struggle of going up against another full fire team. Now, on my end, sometimes that's fun. I like the challenge. But for the most part, that's less enjoyable. You're like, really? I'm a full team of randoms. There's not a single person on my team that is grouped up with another person, and then the whole opposite team is a group of 6. I understand that for most players, that's not that enjoyable of an experience. So I would love to see that implemented in the future. Definitely with Iron Banner, hopefully across the boards. But that's just my opinion. I know we are late in the game. It's hard to do that right now. Your waiting times would be pretty ridiculous if they implemented that right now. I totally get that. So maybe Destiny 2. Other thing on my wish list would be this. You may have noticed that with the Trials bounties, when you complete Trials bounties, you can get Year 2 Trials weapons. You can get a Doctrine of Passing or an Eye of Soul. No, I'm sorry, not Eye of Soul. Glass Promontory. You can get these weapons to drop out of those bounties. Now, with Iron Banner, I wish it was the same. I wish that I could get Year 1 and Year 2 weapons from Iron Banner bounties. I would love to get a Timber's Lash. I'd love to see Aphrodite's Spear back in the loot pool. I still have mine, and I love it to pieces. It's the perfect roll. I love the gun so much. Only problem is it can't be infused. So it's pretty much all the strengths that it had with its impact, get offset. So it's basically a low rate of fire, low impact sniper right now when I take it into Trials or Iron Banner. And that bums me out a little bit. So I wish that these Year 1 and Year 2 weapons from Iron Banner would find themselves back in the loot pool when you turn in your bounties. Even stuff like Silimar's Wrath. We had fun with Silimar. It sucked, but we had fun with that gun. So I would love to see those things implemented back into the loot pool. And I think that also, it's an easy way to get the player base excited about stuff. It's a very, very easy way just to throw things that already exist back into the loot pool. And then you might see more people playing it, trying to get those things. So that's just my opinion. So hopefully your experience this week with Iron Banner is a pleasant one. I know that in the past, the Iron Banner has been heavily scrutinized, but hopefully it's enjoyable for you. Try and make the most out of it. Get some friends together if you can. Maybe even go on a LFG site and get a team together. It is just more fun playing a social shooter socially. That's my advice for you. So hopefully I will catch you in the Crucible.